Hello, this is the Harvard Light. I'm Mary. I give a conservative perspective about the world around me. As I do in the beginning of every episode of my podcast, I mention social media and audio platforms. Alright, so social media, I will have those links in this episode. And to add on to it, I am on Substack. I write on Substack as a supplement to my podcast. You enjoy my podcast. To add on to this, feel free to please give me a rating and follow, because it's greatly appreciated. I appreciate all you listeners out there. I just want to hear from you and would like the feedback. And also, I would like the feedback on my writings. So the link will be included, and go on and follow that link and support and follow. Be greatly appreciated too. Alright, so audio platforms, I'm on Audible, Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify for podcasters, Overcast, Pocket Cast, and iHeartRadio, and I'm looking to grow to where you enjoy your podcast. I am on that. So, this episode, my husband and I are weighing in on Black Friday. We're going to give our thoughts and all of that and everything else about it. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so Black Friday.
Well, I guess most people would need the basic understanding of, in America, it is the start of the shopping season forever. People used to not advertise before Christmas, before the end of Thanksgiving. Like it was frowned upon. Nobody wanted to try. And actually, Franklin Roosevelt changed the date of Thanksgiving,
right,
to being the fourth Thursday of the year, so that there could, on some years, it could actually be an extra week before Christmas
to get all the shopping in, right.
But basically, the term Black Friday it's the day of the year where they can guarantee that they're going to be in the
black, and
right.
That's always a good indication for specifically retail stores that they're in good graces in the stock market and everything, and they're doing well, and they're in the black.
Right. Well, what's crazy though is, back not even that long ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, Jesus Christ, 20 years ago, when I was working in Sears, we would have Black Friday.
Right.
I worked in the tool and lawn and garden and tool section. I sold lawnmowers and tools. We didn't have sales there. Like, we had sales, but we didn't have the doorbuster sales like what they had in the clothing section of Sears and Macy's, JCPenney's. I worked at the Sears in the mall, and they were all the same. Like, we would open early for those departments, and most of them, it was like noon. Doorbusters starting noon. I remember maybe my second year of working at Sears, they did a thing where anybody who volunteered could come into work the evening of Thanksgiving. We were going to open for 3 hours at the end of Thanksgiving. We only did this one time. So we had to get there at 6, and we were open from 6 to 9. And it was basically all hands on deck in the clothing department, so that anybody who came in the store was like the entire everything, not just certain things, like everything from 6 to 9 was 60 to 90% off. And it was all marked. Like, if it was blue tag, blue stickered. It was 60% off, 70% off, 80% off, 90% off.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just different color stickers, just dots that we put on the tags of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what marked it for that percentage off, and we had to manually input it, and that's why they needed people. But the Black Friday, the doorbuster sales, first thing in the morning, we opened up at 7 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't like any special opening times, it was just 7 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was from 7 until noon. Everything was 50% off, the entire store, the entire uh like clothing area. But those sales never transitioned into the TVs, the refrigerators, the lawn and garden equipment, the tools, the mattresses, and all the other things that Sears sold. It was always just the clothing and the perfumes and things like that.
Right. So, when we were kids in the 90s, it was uh seen, well, from, yeah, it's something that is optional, you know, and it's something that your parents, um it's another, it's just another sale to help them get an early start on their Christmas shopping. And
Mm-hmm.
then it it wasn't all the madness that you see going on. And then in the mid, what, 2010s, and early before that, and the mid late, uh going on to, what, 2016, with all the madness, and go in right now and run over people, get what you want. And I mean, what do you, I,
Well, and that's so, like I said, when we were kids,
right.
early on,
Mm-hmm.
say the early 90s, 91 to 95,
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever really remember seeing any big commercials.
No,
My
I would,
aunt,
yeah.
my great aunt, my mom's aunt, would always talk about how she would go in and she would get these awesome deals the day after Thanksgiving. And she would
Mm-hmm.
always leave. Like, we would go over to my grandfather's house. So it's my mom's dad's sister. We would go over to his house with my great grandma and stuff, and she would always leave early. And they would always ask, "Well, why are you leaving so early?" Well, I got to get home. I got to get to bed because I got to be up early to make sure I can get to such and such for their doorbuster deals, because everything's on sale early in the morning. And my parents never did that. Like, they never went. They were buying Christmas stuff, in July.
Sure.
Yeah, they were, because there was a lot to buy for, so you started buying early. That way you could also get bigger gifts and things like that. You had time to save up to get these bigger things. And then it was just the smaller stuff as you got closer to Christmas. That way you weren't last minute shopping and stuff like that. Everything was just kind of taken care of. What got me was, I remember her talking about it, but there wasn't ever really any commercials. And then it was like mid 90s to early 2000s. I remember hearing about the Macy's doorbuster sales, the J.C. Penney early bird sales, and
Yeah,
you know,
which is, I'm sorry. Okay.
they never referenced it as
Yeah.
Black Friday.
Right.
Yeah,
It was just
it was always
some
doorbusters,
specialty
right?
doorbuster sale.
The after Thanksgiving sale.
Right. And about Macy's. So because I did an episode about the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, and so Macy's, the whole idea and the whole concept of having this parade, is just another huge advertisement to say, hey, let's go shop at Macy's for the Christmas season,
No,
right?
yeah. I mean,
And
Santa Claus is the very last
hmm
float on the
right.
Thanksgiving parade.
hmm
You know, it's okay. Hey, it's the shopping season.
Right.
You know,
Uh-huh.
and I think the Macy's parade started in the 30s.
It did. It began its early starts. Because they did, it was in the 30s, and then The advertisement went on in 1924. Yeah.
Hmm.
On. Yeah.
Right. And it was okay. Hey, shopping season is now started. You know, uh, but that's the thing of it. It was like you said, it wasn't early on when we were kids that all the craziness started. I think that
Hmm.
occurred around the mid 2000s, about the advent of the internet.
Right.
People talking. It's like, oh my god, I got this amazing deal. Information is spreading, even though they were advertising it on TV and stuff. Most people, I don't think, were really going. I think there were a decent amount of people, but I think that's also why it was mainly clothes and perfumes and stuff like that. But the big box stores, Walmart, Kmart, Target, all of those things. Like Kmart was open all day on Thanksgiving. I remember as a kid, because there was a lot of times where we would have to go up to the Kmart to get something that somebody forgot, as for, we had to go to the big
Hmm.
Kmart, to
Hmm.
go and get something, because they were open all day Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
But they also sold toys and stuff like that. So, it wasn't this unreasonable thing of, we got to get there and get all this. There wasn't like these huge deals that everything was going to run out. And I remember seeing advertisements of like them opening the door and tons of women
Yeah.
running
Going
in
in. Oh, and
on the
then
doorbuster sales.
right, and then when Mervin's was the thing, that commercial that with the lady would say open, open, open. Marketing towards women, and their is saying their savviness to save,
Right.
right?
Well, in the rush to
In
get
a
in
rush
and
to get
save
in,
money, right, and
right?
get all everything for your family. And what was is it Jingle All the Way with
Yeah, yeah. With
Arnold
Tom, I
Schwarzenegger,
mean Tom Arnold,
not Tom Arnold, uh,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
Yeah,
is it Kelsey Grammer?
no, what's his
Sinbad's in it,
Sinbad.
but no. Kelsey Grammer, I think, is
Yeah,
in it.
but
He's
the
hitting
late,
on Arnold's
yeah,
wife in
yeah,
it.
right, the late and
Yeah,
and great. Oh my gosh, he I really enjoyed. He was in SNL, News
yeah.
Radio. Gosh,
What was his name?
hold on,
You're
just a
gonna have to
minute.
look up, but I'm gonna go through. I think that was the first movie I ever seen where they made it seem like there was this rush to get stuff, and that was at the toy store, though.
Right, right.
That was like parents trying to get the toys for their kids, where they made it seem like there was this big rush. There was never any reference to electronics and all these big things that would be on sale. I think that came later, and I think
Hmm.
as they started advertising like these
Phil,
big,
I'm sorry, Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's as they started showing this in media and exaggerating it in commercials and movies and stuff. I think that's when it started getting exaggerated in life, because they say life imitates art and art imitates life.
yeah.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
I think they were advertising this, and people were thinking, is it really like that? And then they go and see, like, oh, it's getting worse and worse.
Hmm.
I've been to Black Friday deals twice in my entire life. I usually try to avoid it like the plague, or go really, really late and just see what's left, see if there's anything left. The very first time I went to a Black Friday sale, I probably shouldn't have, because it was right after getting back from Iraq. And they did the thing where they had everybody standing outside waiting to get in, and then they opened up the doors and just let everybody rush through like crazy,
Hmm. Hmm.
and had pallets set up to random aisles and stuff of stuff just out of the way, to where, you had to go into grocery to get these TVs that were 70% off, 80% off, and all this stuff.
Hmm.
And yeah, I almost ended up stabbing somebody, because, like I said,
What are you talking
I'm
about?
not I'm not joking. I really almost ended up stabbing somebody.
Well,
So I wasn't even there for Black Friday stuff. So we were going grocery shopping.
oh, right. So please
Yeah.
go.
So
What?
all right.
Wow.
So Thanksgiving, I just got back from Iraq. Thanksgiving had come and gone, and I was at my parents, and my dad was throwing paper. My parents were throwing papers. They delivered the newspaper at this time, and yeah, I decided I was going to go and help my dad because my mom wasn't feeling well, and I figured, I'm back. I'm just back from Iraq. My sleep schedule's all off anyways. I still hadn't gotten back into a good sleep schedule. So I'm gonna be up all night. I've been tired. I was napping throughout the day. I'm gonna be up all night anyway. Still, I haven't gotten into a good sleep. So I was like, "Hey, Dad, I'll go and I'll help you." I had helped him before when I was a kid, and so I knew how it went. I knew how to do everything. So me and him were going and doing it. And then while we're out, it's 5, 6 in the morning because the paper's after Black Friday. So
Mm-hmm.
the Sunday shopper for the week of Thanksgiving had a lot of ads and deals and stuff in it. But the Friday morning paper also had a lot of stuff in it. And you get there at midnight, they get it all delivered, and then you're delivering all through the night. And depending on the size of the route, which my parents always had bigger routes, uh, well, they would each have a bigger route. So both of them, it could be 4 or 5 thousand newspapers that had to be delivered,
Mm-hmm.
along with the Wall Street journals and things like that, the special things. So the Black Friday paper always had like the Black Friday ads in
Right.
it.
Mm-hmm.
They were the special, like there were some things that were in the Sunday shopper beforehand with coupons and stuff, but the the Thanksgiving night or the Friday morning one that had, and so they had to go out. So we're delivering all these papers and stuff, and when we get done, it's about 5 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
5, 6 o'clock in the morning. My mom calls my dad and she says, "Hey, y'all need to go by Walmart. Y'all need to go. We don't have any more eggs. We don't have any more breakfast stuff, and if we're going to eat anything for breakfast, y'all are going to have to stop and get it." So we're like, "Oh, okay, whatever. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. What's the big deal?" So we get to Walmart, and there's a huge, like, they were like pushing people towards the front door. Like, what the heck is going on? And we were like, "Hey, we're not here for that. We just need to go grocery shopping." They're like, "Sorry, everyone has to come over to this side of the store. No one's allowed in because we're about to start our Black Friday stuff." And it's like 5:30 by this point.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh. So we moved to the front of the store because they're just pushing everybody to the front of the store, and everybody's pushing around and stuff. And then we have a cart. We already have some of the stuff we need, and we see them moving pallets around the store with forklifts. And then they're like, "Okay, everybody can come in." And everybody's pushing, and we have a cart with like some eggs in it and a thing of bacon, and we're still trying to get milk, orange juice, and a bunch of other things. And so as we're going down to get stuff to make pancakes, the aisle for the instant pancake milk, there's like a pallet of TVs in the middle of the aisle. And there's a line of people where they're forcing, and we're walking past with the cart just to get some pancake mix. And some dude just steps in front of me and he's like, "You think you're going to cut this line?" He's like, "I'm going to F you up." "Who do you think?"
What?
Talking to me and my dad.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
And I'm like, "Dude, you need to back off. You're about to get yourself hurt. Like, I'm not the one. I'm not the guy you want to mess with." And he's like, "I'm going to mess you up." I'm like, "Dude, I just got back from Iraq. I don't need you in my face right now." And he's,
Oh
"Oh,"
my
and he,
God.
you know,
Wha-
bows up. So I pull my pocket knife and flick it open
Wow.
and flip
That
it around.
is.
I'm like, "Dude, you're about to get yourself hurt." Walmart employee sees it, and I was like, "Look, we're not here to shop for that. I'm trying to get pancake mix from right there. Why the heck did y'all put all this stuff in the aisle where people might be trying to get food?" "Well, most people don't come shopping at this time of day." Yeah, and I was like, "We're not most people." You know, so the employee got it, and we left.
Mm.
But the guy, if he didn't back down until I pulled my knife.
Oh my
And
God.
again, being just back from
Yeah.
Iraq, PTSD, and it was hadn't even gone and tried to get any type of diagnosis or any type of treatment for that because I'd been in a couple of explosions and some firefights in Iraq. I wasn't thinking about it because it wasn't the first time.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, nothing. And then
Mhm.
after that, it was my parents were like, hey, maybe you should go and see somebody. Maybe you should go and talk to somebody because that's not the type of response you would have normally had any other time.
Right.
But, so that was the very first experience I ever had with Black Friday. And I was like, screw this. I'm never going to the store.
Um. Okay. So it is a thing. And how much do you want to? How much? Well, right way. What I'm saying is, the psychological tactics that department stores use in order to feel a sense of urgency, to buy, to do things. So, for instance, the tactic of messing with the temperature to make it warmer in stores,
Yeah, not
to
not
buy,
turning the air
not,
on.
yeah, and then the tactic of to add on to the sense of urgency of this is a limited time only, you better get it,
Yeah,
and the mass hysteria,
in limited quantity.
right, limited quality,
One only
uh-huh,
one per customer and stuff like that.
right,
Well, they started doing. I remember the first time they did it was with PlayStation 3s.
mm-hmm,
So when PlayStation 3s were coming out, it wasn't even before Christmas. I
mm-hmm,
think it was like an October release. There was limited quantity. They put a pallet out, first come, first serve, and they were handing out tickets to people so that as they got up, they had to show their ticket. So if somebody tried cutting in line to get their PlayStation 3, and it's aggressive marketing. But the thing is, I mean, like I said, that was my first experience with it. My second experience was a few years after that. We went just to get, just to see. I didn't have anything in mind, but to get. This was when they started putting out online what was going to be on sale, like the day before or a couple of days before.
mm-hmm,
Probably 2018 ish, 2016 ish. Yeah. So we went, ended up getting like big packs of underwear and stuff. And I went with, buddy was like, oh, I'm going to get this TV and all this stuff. And, I saw that there was socks and underwear and all kinds of stuff on sale for cheap, like
right,
way cheap compared to
mm-hmm,
what socks and underwear normally sell for. You get a pack of 12 socks for like $20 now.
mm-hmm,
You get a 8 pair of underwear for $14. You get 8 pair of underwear for $1, $2. I
mm-hmm,
was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna stock up. Get undershirts and all this stuff that I need that's on sale for crazy cheap, and let everybody else fight over the TVs and stuff.
mm-hmm,
Well, my buddy gets his TV, and I don't know. It was like he got it home. I helped him set it up, install it. I think 3 weeks, 3 weeks after he got it, it stopped working. So he went to return it, and they're like, "Oh well, we don't have these TVs anymore. These were the Black Friday only TVs. They were the specials, so they're going to replace it with an equivalent TV." Well, the one they replaced it with was still only like it was the same size. Like so basically he bought a smart TV. He bought at the time it was like a really big smart TV. He bought a 48-inch smart TV.
mm-hmm,
And he got it for like 300 and something dollars. It was on sale for like 300 and something dollars. And at the time, a 48-inch LCD TV was like $800-900.
mm-hmm,
So this was a really good deal to get this TV for like $300-400.
right,
And it was a 44-inch or 48-inch, something like that. And it was a Vizio brand. And this is at the very beginning of Vizio. I was like, I've never heard of this. He's like, Stu, look, like the specs on this TV are awesome.
right,
And I was like, but what is Vizio? Like, what the heck is Vizio? I've never heard of Vizio. Like, I was like, yeah, the specs are awesome. And then it, of course, it broke on them. And they were like, well, we're going to replace it with a TV of similar spec. And the TV he got was completely different. I think it was an RCA because RCA was still, kind of big at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the lower brands. They were going out of business, and I remember, a couple of years after that, maybe just before COVID, so probably around 2018, seeing a thing where people were buying Black Friday electronics and taking them apart and actually looking at the internals of them, and it was all old stuff. And they're these TVs, they're one-off TVs, that they're one-off electronic stuff that they're making specifically for Black Friday to sell cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same quality and stuff that you would normally get, and that's why they're selling them at a price. They're not losing money.
Right.
They're actually making money because they're selling TVs that would normally sell. They're creating a super high demand for a TV that there really isn't that high of a demand for.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't normally sell them because it's an unheard of brand, unheard of things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you know what? I think this was probably around 2014, 2015. Yeah, like early, like in the teens, like 2014, I think, when we went to do this. So it would have been like around 2017 or so when I saw this YouTube video. Either way, they're like a lot of the things that are being sold on Black Friday, especially these big sales, they're scams. They're not scams. They're not actually cheaper than what they normally would be.
Right.
You're paying to get something. You're paying full price for something. They're not giving you a deal. They're special ordering stuff that has less features and things like that for less, with older hardware, older things than the newer stuff. Like when you go to a store and you buy the new, now TVs are so big, you can get a 78-inch TV for a couple $100 now, $400 or $500. But you're getting, at the time, like when they said a 48-inch TV for $300, that was insane. But you were getting, it was all the stuff that would normally be in a $200-$300 20-inch TV, 30-inch TV, that was just put into the case, like the speakers, everything. The sound quality wasn't that great, and that's what they were doing, and that's what they still kind of do with a lot of Black Friday specials. It's things that wouldn't sell. So if you ever have an issue and you go to return it, they don't give you the exact same model anymore. And that was the thing. He didn't get. I think they've kind of fixed a lot of it because people have figured that out. But yeah, it's kind of pointless. There are some things, like we plan on going tomorrow because we've already bought a few gifts for our kids, and we were going to buy, we still have 2 more big purchases to buy, and these things that we're looking at to get our children are on sale. And it's the exact same things we've already, 2 of the exact same things we've already purchased, so we need to get 2 more, and it is a decent price based off of what we've already paid. And there's no way that it can be of a different quality.
So yeah, like we're saying, when it's a better idea to have in mind what you want and to compare and contrast. Is this a benefit for me to buy this? From what as a gift.
Right, especially when it comes to electronics and stuff. Because that's usually where they have the most room to like finagle things to where they're not losing money. I mean, really, with the markup in so many stores and stuff, they're not losing money on any of this stuff. Because that was one of the things when I went and bought a bunch of socks and underwear and undershirts and stuff on their Black Friday deal for them that they had out. The undershirts, even though they were the same brand and in the similar packaging to what I always purchase, the undershirts were thinner.
Yeah.
The socks that I had purchased seemed like they would have normally not passed quality because some of them the stitching ended in the wrong spot and you had kind of like a wad of stitching at the toe that was sticking out the wrong way where it normally doesn't, or like the color of all the socks wasn't quite all there, like not all the dye had gone in all the way, and that's what it really seemed like, was that a lot of these things were just kind of throw-offs. And then same thing with the briefs that I had gotten, they were just like the stitching is busted on them really quick. It's like I don't think most of them made it past the first wash. And it's really kind of disappointing with stuff like that because but there are things that I think you can really get on Black Friday. It's just weird that every place has a Black Friday, but they're saying there's all types of ads and reports and stuff that since COVID the rush to get in store and buy things in store has really started to die down.
Yeah, not as prevalent. Right.
Cyber Monday and the cyber deals
That's the way to go.
Outpace and out-earn the in-store things. And with COVID, because they were trying to keep crowds out, they were spacing it out through the week of for multiple weeks of hey, starting this Friday but ending this, we're going to have sales, big sales, different things on sale throughout these different weeks, and day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And I think that's a better practice and a better form of it. Have your sales and have your day after Thanksgiving, your first day of the shopping season sale if you want,
right?
But make that on the first day it's this,
right?
On the second day it's this,
right?
Heck, get festive with it. On the first day of shopping, our store gave to you 25% off.
Sure, why not? Huh?
And then you can have that 25 and then just shift that 25% off to the things of the first day, and then on the second day have a whole nother set of ads coming out for that second day, and it's hey, here are these special things. These things, we're going to have more, but hey, we're just announcing that this is on sale.
Right.
And you can go order enough to where you have enough to get all the way through, so that there doesn't have to be this huge press of, oh, we got to get all these things and we got to buy them before, because there's an opportunity to make a bunch of money even after Christmas. After Christmas, when people have all their gift cards because nobody knew what to get them and all of that stuff, for all the people who've got a bunch of gift cards, you can say the holiday shopping season leftover sale.
Sure, yeah.
So that the day after Christmas, 1, anything that gets messed up can be exchanged, but 2, maybe the day after Christmas, people who got a bunch of gift cards, you can say, come spend your gift cards here. On this day, everything that was on sale for Black Friday is now going to be on sale for cheaper. Because guess what? People are still going to try to buy a bunch of stuff for the holidays. But all those people after the holidays, are gonna need somewhere to buy stuff. And hey, they have those Amazon pallet stores where they buy pallets of Amazon return or missed unshipped items or lost package stuff that these places buy, and it's all different days or different prices. Sell it in bulk to warehouse sale or something, and then have a special bulk sale of all this stuff to where people can go in and buy it at a discount, because you can make your money back off of selling some of those things in pallets. If Amazon, Walmart, Target, any place orders just too much and they have too much left over, after holiday, it could even be after New Year's Day, after holiday, after last season's holiday, New Year's sale.
Right.
To where people can just go and load up. Because people are still going to buy that stuff for their kids and their friends and family before Thanksgiving. Like, nobody's going to stop buying gifts after Thanksgiving and before Christmas because, people need Christmas gifts.
Sure. Well, I greatly appreciate you weighing in, and so this reaches the end of the Harboring Light. Tune in and turn up. Bye-bye now.